Hi, we made it back. It is Tuesday, March 13th, and maybe you missed class, or maybe you just don't even remember what we did in class today. So here's today's daily wrap-up. Today is March 13th, 2018, and it's a B day. Today's objective is I can interpret a metamorphic rock classification chart in order to learn the characteristics of metamorphic rocks. We started off today with an igneous rock card sort. So students were looking at different mineral classifications like felsic and mafic, and different textures like phaneritic and aphanitic. Then we moved into metamorphic rock notes, metamorphic rock chart, and describing different metamorphic rocks. Only one class today made it all the way to the exit ticket, and the exit ticket was vocabulary matching. For homework tonight, you should review your metamorphic rock notes and possibly even rewrite them. And you should be studying for the tests that we're going to have on rocks and minerals next Wednesday, March 21st. Who cares about metamorphic rocks anyway? Why are metamorphic rocks even important, and why are we learning about them? Well, marble is one of the metamorphic rocks that we learned about, and marble has been used for centuries as a decorative building stone. This picture here shows the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C., and it's made of marble. Michelangelo was an Italian artist who lived from 1475 to 1564. He was the second of 5 brothers born in Tuscany. He was a sculptor, a painter, an architect, and a poet. He is considered to be one of the greatest Western artists of all time. He was especially gifted at using art to express human emotions and meaning. Michelangelo lived and worked during the Renaissance, a period of European history when many discoveries and innovations in art, science, and technology were made. Hey! Michelangelo carved sculpture throughout his lifetime. The Pieta shows the biblical figure Mary holding the body of Jesus in her lap. Her face expresses sorrow and sadness. The David is Michelangelo's image of an ideal man, based on the biblical story of King David and Goliath. The David is a huge statue standing 14 feet 3 inches high. It took Michelangelo almost 3 years and several models to carve the final David, which now stands in Florence, Italy. Both of these sculptures were made from marble. Another important metamorphic rock is called slate. And slate was used in classrooms a long time ago by teachers, and it was easy for the chalk to write on the metamorphic rock called slate. All right, let's talk about a couple clarifications. Some students ask me, how are they supposed to figure out what the grain size was when they're looking at different rocks? So grain size in rocks can mean the size of the crystal grains or of the fragments. And so we say coarse grain is the largest, medium grained, and fine grained. With coarse grain, most of the rock is made of grains as large as a grain of rice or larger. So you can see that here with this igneous rock, and you can see that here with these sediments. Medium grained, the individual grains can be seen without a magnifier, but most of the rock is made of grains that are smaller than rice. So here's an example here of sandstone that is medium grained, and then here's an example of an igneous rock that's medium grained. And then the smallest is fine grained. Fine grained, the individual grains can't be seen without a magnifier or a microscope. And again here, you're seeing the metamorphic rock called slate, and this over here is fine grained sandstone. This on the right hand side are just fine grains of sand. Does marble react to acid? That's the question we're looking at here. So what we have set up here is calcite, a carbonate mineral, and then we have 2 sedimentary rocks, limestone and fossiliferous limestone. The fossiliferous limestone just has fossils in it, whereas this doesn't have any fossils at all. Then we have a metamorphic rock called marble. And marble is the parent, limestone is the parent rock to marble. So all of these should be reacting to hydrochloric acid, but let's test it out and see. So if we start first over here with the calcite, we're going to drop a little bit of hydrochloric acid on it to see if it fizzes. And if you look very closely, You can see fizzing action going on there. So it looks almost like you opened up a can of Sprite, and you can see the fizzing. So that's the calcite. Now let's take a look at this limestone right here. We're going to put a little bit of hydrochloric acid and see if it fizzes. Again, the answer is yes, that's fizzing quite vigorously. Now let's move over to the fossiliferous limestone. Hopefully you can see this on the camera. It might be a little bit too dark. That's a bit harder to see on the camera, but you can also maybe hear it's fizzing. It sounds like you're opening a can of soda. Now this rock right here, this marble, this rock is old. It's undergone a lot. So it's not going to fizz as rapidly as the limestone. But we'll see if it'll fizz for the camera. So you can see that. You see that movement there with the liquid? That is it fizzing, and you can also hear it fizzing. So the answer to this question, does marble react to acid, is yes. And the reason it reacts to acid is because limestone is the parent rock of marble, and limestone is made of the mineral calcite, which is a carbonate mineral. This is a mineral that has as its building block CO3. So alright, don't forget for our homework tonight, you want to look over your Metamorphic Rock notes and possibly rewrite them. Also, you want to be studying for the rocks and minerals test that we're going to have next Wednesday, March 21st. That test is going to include information on Virginia's physiographic provinces, characteristics of minerals, mineral uses, properties used to identify minerals, the rock cycle, igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, sedimentary rocks, and weathering and erosion. Have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you on Thursday.